Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of Max Tech's Unnamed Podcast. I am Jason Garcia. With me today, I have Matt Enderle, the one named Hamanth, singular name, and Dale Haynes, and we are all here with Max Tech. And today's topic is SEO. What is it, and why do you need it? So I'm going to start off with Matt. Matt, tell me, so why do you think it's important for a small business to be utilizing SEO?
Well, being found is number one, right? Any business, every small business, the lifeblood is revenue. Revenue is sales. Sales comes from a lot of things, and today, the society that we live in, you're not going to buy anything without doing research. I mean, you hire someone, you're Googling them, you're looking at their online social profiles. You want to know who you're bringing into your organization. You pick up a company, a new client, if you apply for a job, you don't think you're going to look. We are the research generation, not the millennials. I'm talking right now. Anyone in the workplace is using the internet and researching. If you hire someone to clean your gutters, are you going to look at the reviews online?
Oh, absolutely.
You're going to Google someone to find them, right?
Yes.
So I think being found online is a very, very high necessity to being able to get revenue, which, again, is how you keep your business running.
Okay. So, Hamanth, you are our SEO guru.
What does
here.
SEO stand for? Let's back up a little bit.
So, SEO is search engine optimization.
Yeah.
And where that typically falls is going to be underneath the ads when you are Googling something.
Yeah, it's mostly underneath the ads or when you're doing a search on a map. It's mostly the first three.
Well, why don't we show the audience? Let's
Yeah,
take a
sure.
look.
Just so the audience knows, Dale is
What
on the
should we do
phone.
a search?
Let's just do Dick's Sporting Goods. I don't know.
Let's do gutter.
Gutter
'cause I
repair,
actually
yeah.
need gutter cleaned out.
All right, there you go.
So
Okay.
gutter cleaning. Now notice our behavior, right? I typed in gutter,
Yes.
and I'm going to use their suggested keywords. So let's back up. We're already going to use keywords that Google is recommending. Okay, so let's go Google, or let's go to gutter cleaning. Gutter cleaning. So what you're saying, Jason, is this up here is the ad,
Yep.
right? This down here is ad. This is ad.
Yes.
But this is map, and then we have ads in the map. So this section is the map.
Yeah, and I think human nature is, I think we are very used to ads at this point, but I think there's still a lot of folks, including myself, who works in digital marketing, that still would prefer to click on the organic ranking
My guess is
as opposed to
majority.
the ad.
Because I'm looking for gutter cleaners. So I go on here. I'm going to skip the ads. Why? Because I have this perception as a consumer that these individuals have paid their way to the top.
Right.
And I want the person that's done a good job and has earned their way. So I'm going to go down. I would look here. Again, I'm going to skip the ads. I would go down. So I see this. This says Regis, Ohio. So I don't know what's going on there, and it doesn't sound like a Google company or a gutter company. I've got this one here, 6 reviews, 5 closes soon. This gutter cleaning service, Lakeview. So I've got that one. 22 reviews with a 3.8. Now I'm going to go down Angie's List, Yelp. Here's the organic ranking.
Right.
So what you're saying is search engine optimization is to get a company placed here instead of on page 10.
Yeah, I think at this point, I think some people are now, because of ads, starting to go to the second page. Would you agree with that, Hamanth?
Yeah, most of the ads are going to the top of the page and even the bottom of the page.
And Google's slowly pushing down those organic rankings.
Yeah, and the number of rankings, organic rankings per page is going down from 10 to 6 now.
Right.
Is that going to hurt the user base of Google? Will we see people move to Bing?
No, I don't think so. I think we're changing the way we search as people. I think we used to think that page 2 was the Bermuda Triangle.
Right.
No one goes to page 2. It's where we hide all the dead bodies. And
Right.
and now I think, I find myself when I'm researching something that I'm going past page 2, where 2 years ago there was no way I was going past page 1.
So you're saying that the loyalty for people using Google will be high enough to for them to have an experience of a necessity to go to page 2.
Yes. Yes.
Do you agree with that, Hamanth?
Yes, once ads are going too crazy and Well, a day will come where the whole first page is going to be ads. So people are most likely to go to second or third page for
Wow.
What about you,
organic
Dale?
ranking.
Do you go to page 2 at all? At this
Depends on
point?
what I'm looking for. If there's something specific that I'm looking for, yeah. If it's just a very, very basic like search term for something, then no, I still stay at page 1.
When you say something specific that you're looking for, what do you mean by that?
So say I'm looking for a specific image, or I'm looking for a car part that I can't find on page 1. I'll go to page 2 and look. But if I'm looking for something that I know that Best Buy has and it's in the first page with Best Buy, I'm going to click on it.
And do you guys believe that this is maybe a difference? So if you're looking for a product, like Dale just said, you might, something very hard to find, you might be okay with, a few pages in. But what if it's a service? So the service, providers that are listening today, do you believe that they need to be more focused on higher ranking organic or compared to product?
I believe it's more organic ranking because if you need a service, most likely you need it immediately. Like as you said, gutter cleaning. So if your gutter broke and you need to service immediately, you're most likely to click on an organic ranking on the first page. You don't have time to go to the second or third page.
And I think now we're seeing where if it's an emergency, you're just going to call. You're not actually doing your research.
So the maps would be more important.
The maps
than
are more
like
important,
that.
having that call only ad. But I think if you are taking your time and doing some research, you are going to look past the ads. And now again, there's still value in ads. I'm not saying there's not value in ads, but I think that what we're seeing is that consumers are going for that organic post because the mindset is, and Dale, feel free to chip in here, is that people are saying they bought that space as opposed to they earned that space.
Right.
So would you agree with that, Dale?
I would. And it also, if I see a paid ad versus an organic one, I will definitely choose an organic one first.
And then, so for you, Dale, you are our website manager, and so a big part of when we sell a site is we mandate an SSL cert and a SEO foundation. And so, what is the value that brings to the new site for our clients?
Well, the SEO foundation helps get your organic rankings up in the first place. If you build a brand new site and you don't have that, you're going to lose your rankings that you originally had. So we go in and we make sure that we map everything so you don't lose that. But the SSL is a key piece of having your rankings as well, because Google's last update last year required an SSL, or else it comes up and says that there's a security issue with your website, and most people then can't open it or bypass it.
Matt, can you show us what that
Let's
SSL cert is? And as Matt's doing that, I want to bring something up to Hemant and to everybody is Google keeps changing their algorithm when it comes to SEO.
Yeah.
And they don't tell us what it is.
Yeah.
So, I think, when we're talking about clients between you, myself, Matt, Jonathan, and everyone else, is we're kind of talking about what we know or we think we know about the new update.
Yeah, that's right. The latest update was on October 3rd, and I tried to do some research on that. And what I found out was even most of the people who work in the Google algorithm department, they don't know exactly how the algorithm works. It's mostly into machine learning and AI. So,
Can we back up just for 1 second so the audience understands what we're talking about with an algorithm? Okay.
Yeah.
So what you're saying is, Google's ultimate goal is to provide people with great search results for their experience. So if they're looking for gutter cleaning, if they're looking for a product, they can find it.
Yeah.
They use an algorithm in order to calculate what's on the internet to provide the best results. What we want to do with SEO is to optimize the website so that Google can see what it is and why to serve that for that particular keyword.
yes.
And when you say the algorithm, so ultimately Google's success over Bing or those of us a little older, Alta Vista, and is the good out. So they would protect that. They wouldn't announce what they're doing specifically. They might tell you what's important, but they're not going to tell you. And so you have to do the cat and mouse game, right?
Yeah, it's mostly like a try and error method. So you do something, if it works, then you understand what the algorithm does.
And you could apply that for any of our clients then at that point.
Yeah,
so
that's
the benefit
right.
of working with an agency like us
Yeah.
is you learn from client A, and then you can impact client B, C, D all the way down.
Yeah, so only one client, you try an error, and if it works, you can apply to all. And if that not work, make sure you do not apply the same thing for all the clients.
Yeah, the Google's great at learning about its users and then providing the best content for that search. And yeah, they're not going to tell us the secret sauce. But the other thing is people think, all right, SEO, it's gotten a bad name. It's black magic. It's Harry Potter's wand waving, and then all of a sudden, boom, you're top of page. But really, there's 3 buckets of SEO.
Yeah, that's right.
And Hemant, can you tell us a little bit about those 3 buckets and how they all kind of intertwine and work together?
It's mostly on-site SEO, off-site SEO, and what was the other one?
Technical
Sorry.
SEO.
Technical SEO, sorry.
So what do you do for those? What are the differences?
Technical SEO is more like how your tags and everything work. Are the title tags good? Are the meta tags?
The code of the website.
Yeah, the basic code and how your the ATL attributes for the images work, and how the headings are doing right and everything.
Got it.
And offsite is mostly backlinks and how.
So what is a backlink?
Backlink is basically how many people are linking to your website. So how many there's a backlinks and there are referring domains. So referring domains is if your business is placed on a particular website, saying like designed by or powered by. So that's a referring domain. And general backlink is someone referring to you, like according to your website or something like that. So
it's another site that has a link to your website.
Yeah, that basically is.
And so you're trying to obtain more of these.
Yeah, basically how we all know internet basically works on links. So if someone links to you and you link to somebody, then that's how the whole chain of backlinks works.
So yeah, it's the quality of what you're producing, whether that's content or the knowledge or the resource for those backlinks, and then that goes into trust flow.
Yeah, that's right. It all basically depends on the quality of backlinks rather than the quantity of the backlinks.
So this for an example. Say we post this video up on our site.
Okay.
And someone takes a link to that and they share it on Facebook.
Yeah.
Does that count?
Yeah, that does count.
Okay.
So as a backlink. Not
Okay.
as a back. Yeah, it does count as a backlink. Yeah.
Okay, got it.
And then for on-site, so we're talking about more like user experience, having the appropriate size text on different pages, making sure you don't have any dead pages, things like that, correct?
Yeah, it's mostly user experience, how the site is ranked. Is it any images on the site, and how good the images are looking, and what's the size
So
of the
having
text?
a proper balance of images and text and bullet, those are things that actually impact how well you rank on Google.
Yeah, Google actually gives preference to something. If you have a larger font, it's actually better on the user. So
Got it.
that's how you get ranked better.
Got it.
Dale, so on your end, on the website design and things like that, so don't you think that having a designer who has a good understanding of UI, UX, and working collaboratively with the SEO person, which you would think is, well, that's 2 totally separate things, but
You're saying design would be something different from a technical organic ranking benefit.
right, but
really it's not.
it's not. It's
Okay.
not at all. And so, do you think that it's super important when a designer is designing a site and coming up with that site map that they're kind of consulting or talking to the SEO person?
Yes, and I believe the 2 go hand in hand together. I mean, if you're not designing an easy-to-use site, Google gives warnings on sites constantly that an image is too big, it's not sitting on mobile correctly, it's not visible, the text is too small. So I mean, I think that plays key role with SEO and design to understand with each other what functions and what jives well together in order to drive ranking.
So, in your experience, Dale, if you had 10 sites, just 10 random sites, how many out of those 10 would you say are properly utilizing UI and kind of some SEO fundamentals when it comes to the aesthetics of their site? Is it 1 out of 10, 9 out of 10?
Just random sites?
Yeah, just random sites. Off the top, you've been in the industry for a long time. If you were looking,
I'd say 4 out of 10, so not even half.
yeah, and it's just crazy to think. I think come on, we were talking Mitt today, and we were talking about this that I don't think designers no one's ever approached a designer to say, are you actually working with the SEO person to make this exciting?
Yeah. So a lot of times they're siloed, right? They're almost. A lot of times, if they're a freelance, they're not chatting.
No.
Yeah.
They don't know who they are. And that's one of the benefits, again, with an agency, our team, we're very collaborative. And so our design, we know what's going on. We know Hamath. Everything's coming together, and we have a common goal up front. I mean, we truly build sites for experience, but we really build them for organic ranking. We don't want to just build you a site and, if you build it, they will come.
It's a piece of wallpaper.
It's a piece of wallpaper. We really want it to be a tool for lead generation. And to do that, we need to get traffic. So organic ranking. And to kind of go back to one of your questions real quick, I mean, obviously you can buy your way with the ads. Yeah. I think from a behavior standpoint, if you have an ad and you are high in organic, that the company said, or that audience says they've earned their way organic and they can afford for ads, so they're probably a financially stable company. I feel more confident working with this company if my budget can allow. And so I think that's a huge benefit if you can accomplish for both. Now the good news is if you do that, the ads generally won't get the click, so you don't pay for it.
Right.
So you basically got free confidence building off the organic by doing the ads. Mm-hmm. And the ads might generate instant gratification. Where SEO, a new site, how long would you say until we're seeing, positive traction for those keywords?
It's going to take at least like 30 to 40 days, 45 days, depending on the site exactly. If it's a service, it's going to take longer, but products going to take like 30 days.
Depending on how competitive those keywords are.
Yeah, that's right.
I think we've seen it firsthand where clients of ours, past clients, current clients, all the above, they want to target 10 to 20 keywords at one time. And there's simply the cost to do that is just so extreme. But if we can pick 2 or 3 terms, let's start with the low-hanging fruit, stuff that's on page 2, page 3.
Yeah.
Really create a game plan
where
for
they're
those.
already ranked
They're
on
already
page 2 or 3.
ranked on 2 or 3, and we could come up with formulate a plan to get those to page 1.
Right.
And create those KPIs as opposed to a bucket of 10 terms. Well, no, let's just focus on 2 or 3, get those up, and then let's focus on the next ones.
Sure.
And the next ones, as opposed.
You're saying almost from a keyword strategy perspective, we're going to go find keywords that maybe aren't as competitive, but still have the volume. Meaning, there's people still searching those keywords, and there's still benefit to ranking well on those.
And I think a key that people forget about is you have to make sure those. And it sounds counterintuitive almost. That those terms are relevant to what you're doing.
Right.
And I think that's you need to really look if someone Googles this, do I want to show?
Yeah.
And so I get asked a lot. So what do you think's more important, paid ads or SEO? Well, I don't think there's one that's more important than the other. I think if you have a smaller budget, I would attack SEO.
Right. If you have a longer or you're okay and accepting of a longer turn time to get benefit.
Right.
Yeah, that's basically because SEO to gain organic ranking, it at least take 30 days when Google crawls your site and it's to rank better. Mm-hmm. It's gonna take time, but it's gonna stay there for a long time.
Sure.
And
depending on your competitors, they may be pushing.
Yeah, you just you cannot just do it and leave it. You have to work on it. But once you get on the first page with minimum work, you can stay there for long.
And this is just the tip of the iceberg. I mean, there's so many other things that we haven't even touched on that is so far in the weeds that it would be so far over the majority of our listeners.
You mean with the method of how we do it?
The method, and then when you talk about the back end and schema and robots and site speed and all those little nooks and cranny things that make up a huge result in SEO. But that's more of a good SEO company shows you what they're going to do, creates those KPIs as a client, you can understand, okay, this is what my team of folks that I'm paying for SEO services is going to be working on. These are the results that they're expecting, so I'm now expecting them, and when those deliverables are coming.
Right. And not all goals are meant to be hit. I mean, you strive for them, but
right.
What interesting story. So, our one of our other brands, which is CompuCorp, was ranking for, if you have wiring done in your office, internal wiring for phones or computers or whatever, it's usually called structured wiring, network wiring. It happened to be that the keyword computer wiring, which again is not really used in the industry.
Sorry, that was our timer. I'm turning
on. Timer, yeah. So, but we were ranking number 1 for computer wiring, and some people were still searching that keyword. So we were getting 3 to 5 leads a month off of that keyword, still are. But it wouldn't be a keyword that if you asked someone in the wiring business, is that a good keyword? They would say no. Well, they would want structured wiring, but for you to get that keyword ranking well for us would take a long time, number 1, and maybe too competitive. Where we found, by happenstance, a keyword that wasn't as competitive and still provided a fair amount of leads and traffic. And I think, in the keyword research stage early on, the idea is, how do we find a hole in the keywords that are still advantageous? And then to your point of, let's not do 3 keywords, let's go do 100 of those, a little bit longer keywords, maybe lower volume, but aggregately, when you combine those, you're getting better results,
right.
You're getting better leads, and you're getting a better outcome overall.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, I mean, there's so many ways to skin that cat.
Sure.
It's just a matter of what your budget is and what you want to do.
Right.
So, Dale, do you guys, as we kind of wrap this show up, obviously we could do a whole nother 20 to 30 minute podcast on the other aspects of SEO. Maybe we'll do that, stuff we didn't hit on today. But do you have anything that you want to add before we close this episode?
No, I think we covered about everything.
All right, Matt, you got anything?
I would say, if you're listening and you're wondering, is SEO something for me or my business, and you don't want to contact us directly, go on your phone and go on your computer and search the keywords that your customers might be searching. See where you rank up and see, and then also go in on our website, maxtechagency.com, click the contact page. At the bottom, there's a link to scan your site, and that will come back and give you a ranking of how the technical SEO of the code is set up. And that'll also kind of give you an idea, how it would rank.
Amanth, any last words from you, sir?
Nothing as of right now. Everything good, and we covered almost all the basic topics. So
sure.
Yeah, well, guys, I want to thank you for joining me today. Again, this is Max Tech's Unnamed Podcast. So please comment below. Episode 2. I have come to realize that I wore the same flannel shirt for the last 2 episodes, so feel free to make fun of me for that as well.
It's okay, because Samantha's actually got one pretty close to yours, too.
Yes.
But, it's fall here in Ohio.
Yeah, it's cold.
And everyone wears the lumberjack shirt, so it's, it's acceptable.
So make sure you comment in the
And by the way, just a side note, the guy hand on the videos in the back, that's Jonathan on our team. He's actually giving the thumbs up as he has his lumberjack button up on too.
Yes.
So, yeah.
So make sure you comment below. Help us come up with some names. Make sure you like us on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, all the above. Again, if you would like a free SEO assessment, please feel free to reach out. My name is Jason, and I'd love to help you out in any way possible. Or if you just like more information in general, please feel free to reach out. Again, I want to
located here at Polaris.
Yep, we're located.
Stop in, and we can run an assessment live. Right?
We're located at Polaris Mall in Columbus, Ohio. Go Bucks, and we will see you next time.